And today we've come here to introduce you to the scaled Agile framework with the Atlassian tools and how to implement it. And for this presentation, we have Aslam Kader, Senior Consultant in the UK office and one of our SPCs at Vayantis. Over to you, Aslam.
Thank you, Anthony. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us on this webinar. We will dive into some topics related to scaling Agile and mainly touch the processes and tools which can assist your Agile journey. Okay, cool. All right, so the basics of Agile software development are quite simple. So we have self-organizing teams, business people, and product development working closely together on common goals, short planning and development cycles to promote quick feedback. Quick feedback, learning, and continual improvement, and deliver working products frequently, as well as it uses working products as primary measure of progress and welcomes changing environments and requirements even at late in development. Now, those practices work wonders for individual teams, so it feels natural to try and apply those principles to big software projects, where the complexity of the software development is then multiplied. So as a result, yet scaling Agile practices is challenging, and this is probably no surprise to you. If you have a bunch of self-organizing teams, how can you manage to manage system architectural needs which are too big for one team to solve? How can you identify dependencies across teams if there's no roles defined to coordinate across teams? How can you track large initiatives which span over multiple sprints and teams? How can you link strategy with execution? And how can you make sure all these decisions which affect multiple teams are communicated in real time? This could be summarized into three key areas of challenges which enterprise struggle, and it is transparency, consistency, and predictability. So it is important to note that people, processes, and tools together actually remains the focal point to steer enterprises on the right direction when scaling Agile. According to the survey conducted by the State of Agile Annual Agile Report, the top 5 tips for success with scaling Agile highlights the investment in vital for success in scaling Agile. Especially organizational cultural still matters. According to the survey, responses indicate that organizational cultural issues remains the leading impediment to adopting scaling Agile. General resistance to change and then inadequate management support and sponsorship, and organizational culture that is at odds with Agile values rank as the top 3 challenges. Next, it is equally important to choose the consistent processes to follow and implement a common tool across teams. The Scaled Agile framework, SAFe, is the most popular framework based on the enterprise adoption according to the annual survey carried out by annual State of Agile survey report. The Scrum, again, is reported as the most widely practiced Agile methodology, with at least 72% of respondents practicing Scrum or hybrid that includes some Scrum, and 30% reports that SAFe is the approach their organizations follow most closely. Scrum and SAFe are still solidly in the lead when considering an Agile process. In terms of choosing a process to scale, SAFe framework was introduced in 2011 by Dean Leffingwell, and it has produced dozens of examples and success stories scaling Agile for very large organizations and enterprises. Bottom line, it focuses to improve 4 major areas like time to market, quality, productivity, and employee engagement. So let's now look into implementing SAFe. The native tools from Atlassian ecosystem allows to overcome the scaling challenge. I will share some products which I evaluated from Atlassian ecosystem which can support scaled Agile implementations. Before we explore the tools, let's take a look at the scaled Agile framework SAFe 5.0. We are in the turning point of Agile, an age of software and digital revolution. Mick Kirsten mentions on his book project to product, those who master large-scale software delivery will define the economic landscape of the 21st century. So we all want to be there, and the question is how to get there. To compete on the edge of software, we all realize that we need to transform, but we also need to rethink managerial frameworks and infrastructure models we operate should be from the past revolutions. You're seeing the overview of SAFe 5.0, which should be available, officially released next month by scaledagileFramework.com. And SAFe 5.0 places a special emphasis on keeping the customer as central to our work as we provide value. It provides guidance on tools and practices for implementing design thinking in support of customer centricity. This overall ensures we build the right products and solutions for the right people at the right time. In addition to the previous 5 competencies, the SAFe 5.0 has introduced 2 new competencies: the continual learning culture and the organizational agility. Agility redefines the overall strategy to grow together as an agile organization. It has also redefined 2 other competencies from the previous SAFe version, which is now called the Agile Product Delivery and the Enterprise Solution Delivery, which describes how to apply lean agile principles and practices to the world's largest and the most sophisticated software applications, products, networks, and cyber physical systems, which altogether the core 7 competencies with the 21 dimensions allows to measure the grow the business agility, which is now positioned at the top as a roof focusing the entire organization's business agility. It focuses on delivering business solutions and not just technical solutions. It is done by aligning strategy with execution to determine what to fund and why, so that teams can develop and maintain a portfolio of products and services that meet evolving needs of customers and the organization itself. It then centers the customer using design thinking to understand the problems first before designing the right business solution. Next, optimizes the value stream using cross-functional collaboration between technical and non-technical teams to get those products to the market faster. This is the SAFe 5.0 big picture. And if you are familiar with 4.0, 4.5, or 4.6 versions of SAFe, then you would find some significant changes. Firstly, the big picture has been better organized, and it leans towards creating agility across the entire organization. Some key highlights to mention: the team level and program level have been merged together to create an essential SAFe level. And the dev team is now called the Agile team. And it addresses not just dev teams, but also operational support, business teams like HR, marketing, finance teams. It further emphasizes the design thinking, keeping customer at the center to ensure the solution is desirable, feasible, viable, and sustainable. And many more positive improvements to the big picture, which I won't have the time to talk through today due to the time constraint. Let's look at the essential SAFe level. In this level, we see a couple of things. We see agile teams together with product owner and scrum master working on a team backlog. And most likely, the teams will be working on scrum mode. We see a product management, release train engineers, and system architecture engineers working based on a product program backlog. Most likely, they will be working on a Kanban mode. And then we see an agile release train, a team of agile teams, also known as ART, which is related to a continuous delivery pipeline. So arts are organized around the value streams, and they continuously deliver customer value in minimal dependencies outside the art. And the phases on the continuous delivery pipeline, like continuous exploration, continuous integration, and continuous deployment, happens in every iteration. and the release on demand happens more or less frequently as needed. So we also see an event called PI planning, followed by 4 smaller increments which have system demos at the end. So what's the idea of an Agile release train? You might remember on the Agile principles is having self-organizing teams able to deliver stories. What SAFe tells you is to create self-organizing teams of teams called an Agile release train. These teams of teams will consist both technical and non-technical teams. An Agile release train is able to plan, develop, and release features which span multiple sprints and consist of multiple user stories. Those features, again, are part of one or more solutions in a value stream. While a story is time-boxed inside a sprint, a feature is time-boxed in a program increment. The dependencies between features and are identified using the PI planning. Now, what's interesting is that out of the box, Jira and Confluence covers the functionalities to do essential SAFe very well. If you were to define SAFe essentials in Jira, then there is a couple of ways to structure projects and issue types. This is just an example how to the hierarchy can be defined by organizing your Jira issues and projects, and around the Agile processes, people, and planning time. Let's take a look at the team backlog, for example. The way you implement this in Jira is that you create a Jira project for each team, or you can create a product. Then you can create one Scrum board for each team, which includes all the value streams they are working on. And each team would have its own velocity and burn down chart. If multiple teams work on the same value stream, just add a custom field called team and configure the boards to only show the stories for their team. For the program board, in Jira, you can just create a separate Jira project, which only includes Jira epics or features, how SAFe calls them. And the Jira epics can have their own workflow, and they are linked to the stories. Now, when you move up to the large solution or portfolio level, in theory, you would just add other backlogs to track bigger items. So you would think you could just create another separate Jira project with another Kanban board to track the capabilities on a solution backlog and a portfolio epics on the portfolio backlog. But the problem is, due to the limitations in Jira, it is difficult to track, link, and sum up data from the team level up to the portfolio level. Traditionally, you would solve this with some of the many apps which exist in the Atlassian marketplace. However, before I show this, I would like to show how this could be solved with Jira Align. And Jira Align is the leading tool in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for enterprise agile planning tools. So let's see how Jira Align works. It's a tool designed purposely to solve challenges when scaling Agile. Jira Align creates visibility, consistency, and predictability and flow between all levels in your organization using a top-down, bottom-up, meet-in-the-middle approach. At its foundation, you still have Jira, Confluence, Trello-like team collaboration tools. All the practices from Essential SAFe still largely are implemented using those tools, which delivery and program teams create amazing products. With minimal disruption at the team level, what Jira Align does is it takes the information from Jira, but even multiple Jira instances and other external products, and connects it all the way up to the strategic portfolio. Jira Align out of the box supports SAFe, but also other frameworks like Less, DAD, or Spotify. And it has reporting for every team with the most important information filtered to get their work done. Mainly, there are two things that you would do in Jira Align, and which is to do planning, for example, defining the roadmap for the upcoming increment. And the other thing is making work visible across all levels so that delivery teams know to which program, solution, and portfolio they are working on. Portfolio Teams, for example, would have a room with information containing the strategic themes, value streams, and the budget allocated to the value stream. Also, they would have portfolio backlog where they can funnel new ideas. So this is an example of how you can set your the mission, vision, and values, which is just set high-level strategic goals. Next, teams working on stories, features, or any task can drill up to the strategy linked all the way to the purpose, creating transparency and alignment for all levels. And you will have dedicated rooms based on like dashboards you're familiar with, which allows teams at each level to focus on the right information, which removes additional clutter out of the picture. The program board acts as an agreement between a product management and development teams on what functionalities will be delivered at various points of the upcoming or current PI. During PI planning events, this board can be used as a live program board, which can act as a single source of truth, where you will find your PI objectives, milestones, dependencies, planning issues, and risks that will be part of the program. And most importantly, you can visualize team and program dependencies as a map, a matrix, or a wheel, which can further drill down to tackle and take necessary actions on them. This view also helps organizations to optimize their art structures to minimize external dependencies. Program level dependencies are between teams on a single art, and dependencies within Agile teams are kept in the team level tool like Jira, since they do not concern other teams on the art, and hence do not require the cross-team collaboration often facilitated by the release train engineer. So the investment by team report shows how the portfolio allocates budget and the effort to implement business strategy via teams. Another important report is the investment versus actual reports, which shows the PI allocation and the actual spend per team in one report. So the portfolio reports are highly beneficial if you're a portfolio manager or an executive to get better picture on investment outcomes. So should you all use Jira Align? The answer will be no. At least at the moment, Jira Align is targeted more to organizations with large teams. And potentially, if you have multiple Jira instances and other team tools, and if you have already started your scaled agile journey and truly need visibility, consistency, and predictability at an enterprise level, then Jira Align is the right tool for you. So what solutions are there if you don't use Jira Align? The first possibility would be an app from Atlassian itself, a portfolio for Jira. The app is available on Atlassian Cloud, and the app is available on Atlassian Server and Data Center. The portfolio for Jira has been recently completely redesigned. And with the portfolio, you can define multiple hierarchies above epics. And next to the issues on the different hierarchies, you now see a timeline. The dependencies are shown at the beginning and the end of each timeline. The data like story points, sprints, teams can now be rolled up from team all the way up to the portfolio level. And the data also can be grouped for capacity management at team and sprint levels. Visual dependencies can be created and managed at all levels, and it highlights when at risk. So you can create common cadences between teams using cross-project releases and scenario planning to create benchmarks and simulate risks without disrupting work at team level. An Agile release train, a PI, is planned using a portfolio for Jira plan, and multiple PI plans can be grouped together to form a program level plan for those who use Jira on server or data center platform. The auto scheduler is a very important feature in portfolio for Jira, which allows automatic planning based on available information to create the best optimized plan. Now, what if you want to manage both agile programs, but also want to manage classic projects with Gantt charts and milestones? In my opinion, the app which is the most suitable in this case is Big Picture. Big Picture and Big Picture Enterprise solution is offered by Software Plant, and the apps are available on Atlassian Cloud Server and Data Center. In Big Picture, you can create multiple programs, and for each program, you can activate or deactivate modules which supports planning for agile and non-agile teams. By activating Gantt charts, for example, you can do classic project management with milestones and a work breakdown structure. On the other hand, you could activate roadmap and boards which show the features implemented in each PI and visualize dependencies between the features. You can also drill down into the iteration level and see dependencies over there, and you can roll up data and also manage risk at all levels. Now, what if you want to be able to create not only one, but multiple independent structures? For this, let's meet Structure. Structure is a solution is offered by ALM Works, and the core app is available on Atlassian Cloud, Server, and Data Center. With Structure, you can sum up columns in different configuration. For example, you could sum up story points for each PI, but also create another structure to sum them up for each product. Another cool feature is formula columns, which you could calculate the cost of story based on the story points or calculate the health of your sprint. What I also like about Structure are its automation features. For example, you can move the feature to done as soon as all stories are done. The Structure app for planning at scale is only available for server and data center. What if you want to just focus on program planning and visualize cross-team dependencies? Then Easy Agile offers this solution. So Easy Agile Programs is another solution, and it is offered by a company called Easy Agile. The core app is available on Atlassian Cloud, Server, and Data Center. The solution activates a roadmap and a program board which shows the features implemented in each PI, and then you can visualize team dependencies between stories and also features. Easy Agile offers two other solutions for team and portfolio teams. And one of the team level apps are called Easy Agile User Story Maps, and User Story Maps app allows to work on stories while focused on designing the customer experience through journey maps, which can promote design thinking. And the other app they offer is the Easy Agile Roadmaps. An app allows to building a visual roadmap based on swim lanes and important date markers, which enables to set a vision for their product and share the vision with your stakeholders. So what I've done is I've evaluated these solutions and personally rated them based on SAFe essential features like hierarchy, backlog, and prioritization, program boards, roadmaps, PI objective management, dependencies, and risk management. So some key highlights are that you would find most features overlap between the solutions, and it would require you to use combination of solutions to get the most out of your tools. For example, when using Portfolio for Jira, you could use Easy Agile programs to kind of enable the program board to see visual dependencies between them, and try to build some key features out of multiple solutions. And Jira Align is a complete solution for organizations who are looking to implement scaled agile at a large scale as a large solution, portfolio, or a full SAFe levels. And Big Picture and Portfolio for Jira are actually great to standalone solutions for organizations practicing SAFe at essential level. Structure is a must-have solution for hybrid agile teams to build hierarchies and roll-ups, and also Easy Agile programs is an important solution for teams to plan PIs and visualize program boards. Of course, there are many more apps on the Atlassian marketplace which offers functionalities which help implement a SAFe with Jira. I strongly recommend assessing your business agility and agility maturity in your organization and look into like implementing consistent processes and tools which can drive and accelerate your digital agile transformation journey. If you need help doing this, you can always speak to Variantis, your agile transformation partner, for tools and processes.